Alright friends, welcome back to the third video, and this one is going to be on the materials that we're going to put in here, in here, in here, and then later on in the sky and on our countertop and our back wall. Let's get started. I'm going to go to the layout because we did something earlier that we need to remedy for now, and that is we got rid of our light. So I'm going to Shift A, go down to light, and go point, and then just GZ it up, and then Shift Z it kind of out this way somewhere. Yeah, that works. And then from here, I'm going to go to our shading tab, and here in the shading tab, I'm going to select our donut, zoom in on it by doing period on the number pad, and then we can do something really fun. So most of the time, when you're doing different materials, you're going to be doing image textures and texture painting and weight painting and. We're only going to be doing nodes because once again, this is a node tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because this is 4.2.2 and I have not set up my workspace how I want it and saved my preferences, I'm going to right click on the line in between. I'm going to hit join areas, and you'll see one gets darker, one gets lighter. The lighter space is going to overtake the darker space. So I'm going to do that on the top and the bottom because I don't use those two, especially not that we're doing just nodes. First thing I'm going to do is press new and then rename it to donut. And then you see where it says slot 1 over here? You can open this up and now you have all of the different materials. By the way, that's the same thing that you can do here in the material tab on the properties. Right here, this top window with this plus minus and the donut on the underneath and the Suzanne arrow donut, yada yada, all this is this guy right here. So we're not going to do anything with up there in the materials tab menu up there. We're going to do it all here in the node editor. So slot 1, we see donut, plus, now we have slot 2, new, double click material 001, rename it to icing, and we're going to repeat that. So now we have donut icing. We're going to hit the plus. Now we have a slot 3. Now we hit new. Now we click on the name. Going to call that sprinkles and click away. Now we have donut icing sprinkles. I'm going to hit the plus, hit new, material, plate, because we got to have plate. Okay, great. Now we've got the donut icing sprinkles and the plate. Now I'm going to hit the plus, and I'm going to hit these, and I'm going to say countertop, which is completely up to you if you're going to be following that optional video at the end with the countertop and the back wall also in nodes. And then I'm going to hit plus and hit new and do back wall as well. And now we have 6 materials. Donut, icing, sprinkles, yes, yes, yes. Plate, yes. Countertop and back wall, maybe. With that, before we get into making the materials, I'm going to go up to our geometry nodes tab at the very top, our workspace, and I'm going to click on this set material for the donut. And here's a fun thing. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and drag away. I'm going to hit period on the number pad, and it will center it in frame, whatever you have selected. So just remember that. Period on the number pad always selects and focuses on what you have selected. So here in this material space, gonna click that, and we're looking for a donut. And I'm gonna go down to the icing. This is the icing material. I'm gonna click on icing. And if you want, feel free to use as many frames as you want to. So we can go icing matte all the way up. Don't shrink. I don't know what I hit. I'm sorry. That's the beauty of Command Z. You can undo whatever you need to undo. Okay, so we have the icing material, and then down here in the sprinkles, we have the sprinkles material, and we'll get to the plate and all of that later. So we're gonna drag out like that, and there we go. Now my node tree looks like this. A lot of empty space. That's okay. In fact, if you want to undo empty space, you can like drag things like that. There we go. All right. Now we're going to go back to the shading workspace. Boom. Here we go. And we want our, let's do our sprinkles first, because this is very similar to what we did in the original donut tutorial. I made the light a 100-watt light, just like at a house. Maybe even go down to like 60 watts. There we go. This is very, very similar to what we did in the original Blender Guru donut tutorial. I'm going to click on this principled BSDF, and I'm going to drag out from the base color dock, and I'm going to type in color ramp, and we want from the color. And I'm going to add like 2 sliders on the options, the drop-down menu that says linear. I'm going to click on that and go to constant, and now we have it segmented. And then from this color ramp, I'm going to drag out from the factor dock. I'm going to drag out, and I'm going to type in object info and go all the way back, all the way down to the bottom for random. So now it selects random sprinkles for whichever object, you know, it randomizes the color. Sorry about that. English. So click on the black slider and then click on the black color space and go up and maybe do like a, I don't know, orange maybe. Feeling a little funky fresh. Maybe keep them warm colors because it's, maybe go like this yellowish and then maybe do a pink and then do red for the blood of our enemies. And now we have a nice fall warm colors for fall, yada yada ha woo yay. Sorry, I'm still medicated from being sick over the weekend. So roughness, for the roughness and the metallic and the normal, this is what you can do if you want. You can keep the same object info, duplicate the color ramp, play with the black and white values for the metallic, the roughness, and the normal to get you different fun things going on. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm not doing that. We're focusing on the geometry nodes and the donut texture because to me that's the most fun one. Because these are sprinkles. So I'm going to bring the roughness down to like 0.25. I'll just type it in 0.25. I don't want any metallic. And I want my subsurface weight to be 1. I want to say the radius to be like 0.5. If Blender won't crash. So we're just going to do 1. Just so 0.5. And then the scale 0.05. Let's say 0.1 inches. There we go. And that's all I'm going to do for the sprinkles. I've got a nice kind of warm toned sprinkle set. And that's all I'm doing for the sprinkles. You can go deeper if you want to. That's up to you. Now we're going to do the icing. I'm going to click on the icing, and we see we have... I need to save. Hold on. This is going crazy. Okay. Why? Control. Don't forget to save. I realize I hadn't really saved much. So... on the principled BSDF, drag out from base color, type in color ramp as usual. I'm going to give myself an extra option and then bring these like kind of down here. Click on linear again, go to constant, and then drag out from factor and say random, because you can also find object info random here. And then I'm going to, let's go with like a pinkish. And then let's go with, and don't forget, brown in color theory is just dark orange. So like a brown, nice chocolatey brown. And then, you know, I might do a black. I might do a black because of the Halloween, because of the timing. So black, brown, and you can see kind of where the random object selects black, brown, and pink, which ironically, it looks pink and black look like it has no texture, but we'll go with it. Black, brown, pink, roughness down. I'm gonna unselect and okay. So I'm going to deselect right now and go with the brown because I want to be able to see my like roughness choices and my various subsurface choices. So weight all the way up to 1, radius to 1, scale to 1/4 of an inch maybe. And that's it. What does this endostropy do? I don't know. That's just experimentation. And then I want to go transmission and then weight like 0.2 maybe. Just a little bit of see-throughness, not too much. Just a little bit. And then random, boom. And then it's black. It's hard to really tell. Okay, now we have our donut and our icing and our sprinkles. Let's go to our geometry nodes real quick. And I'm going to control, right-click, drag, and remove those just so we can see just the donut. Go back to shading because this is a really fun set of, this is a really fun material that we're going to do. So we're going to do, from the base color, we're going to start the same way. We're going to say color, ramp, okay, great. But then we're going to drag out from the factor and we're going to do a gradient texture. And so you can already see something happening. And then we're going to go up to edit, go to preferences, and we're going to, in the add-ons bit, we're going to type in node and check the box if it's not checked already for node wrangler. And then with that checked, you can do Control T to bring in some nodes to wrangle your other nodes. Okay, cool. So I'm going to drag this out because we're going to have some stuff here in this space. So I want to color my donut. So I'm going to make 1, 2, and 3 more sliders on my color ramp. And I'm going to make this middle one at exactly 0.5. This next guy out at exactly 0.4. This next guy to the right at exactly 0.6. And then these maybe just a little different. There we go. So this middle guy, I want you to be a light, very light color. There we go. This is the least cooked side of things. And now this, a slightly darker color maybe, for a little bit more cooked. And then what you can do to make sure you get the color the same on both sides, you can go to this hex selection and you can Control C or Command C to copy, and then click on this gray slider and then Control V or Command V to paste. And now we have the same color on both sides. And then this black slider, I'm going to make a nice brown. And this is all up to you, what colors you do. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I'm going to Command copy or Control C copy and then Control V paste. Now we have a weirdly cooked donut. It's got some funk to it, that's for sure. I'm going to make this a little, yeah, there we go. All right, I'm going to Control C copy. That was actually very, very similar. And then, so for some reason, that's just how this mapping of this torus is, right? The gradient is here in the middle, and it goes across the whole donut, and there's not much you can do, right? No, obviously not. You can do just like anything you want to do with nodes. It's crazy. So the only thing we're going to do here, though, is on this rotation, we're going to experiment a little bit. I want you guys to see this, okay? So if we rotate X by 90, absolutely nothing happens. I don't know why, but nothing happens. We're going to go back to 0. Then we're going to do it on the Y. I'm going to do 90, and that is exactly what we're looking for. But I want to keep going, so give me 1 second. So we're going to go back to 0. Then we're going to go to Z. And on the Z axis, we're going to rotate by 90, and all of a sudden, it disappears. Once again, I don't know why it's just the Y axis, but it's just the Y axis that seems to work to rotate it. So now, if you rotate on the Y by 90 degrees, you have a donut that's colored, but it's not textured. So how are we going to texture it? That's a great question. We're going to use more nodes. So I'm going to Shift A. I'm going to search, and oh, there we go. Noise texture. Bada boom, bada bang. There we go. And we're going to be putting this into the normal because I want to get some bump to it. I'm going to zoom in here. So I'm going to put the color in the base color. The color does this. It looks like an oil spill, where the factor is just black and white. That's what I wanted to show you. Color is like an oil spill on a lot of these textures. The factor is black and white. So we're going to go from the factor out to a bump node. And I'm just going to say height for right now. And then I'm going to drag out from the normal and go down here to displacement. Normal to normal. And then displacement up to this displacement in here. And then let it sit. And what the heck is that? It's like camo. And then we're going to go bump to normal to that. And now we have this. We have this. What the heck? What do we do? We change values. That's what we do. Always, right? So we have scale of 1. Maybe scale it up, right? Height. Let's make the height bigger. Let's make the strength way smaller. So like 0.1. And then let's make the scale way different. Ooh, I like that. That's still really, really powerful. Still a lot. So I'm going to Shift A. Let's see if we can color. Oops. Let's see if we can maybe color ramp. And I'm doing this right now because I know what I want. But it's up to you guys also to kind of figure it out as to what you want your... if we go to normal, what does that do? It's up to you guys to explore. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's up to you guys to explore your nodes and see, because like if you did this, which is really kind of interesting, but maybe what if you shifted it around, right? Now you have what looks to be weird little divots in the donut. If you Control X to delete, it keeps the line, and if you Alt or Option click and drag, it will allow you to pull it off, but also keep the wire connected. I'm just saying, play around with things, right? Let's go 0.075. Yeah, I like that. Let's go. We can, if you change the roughness, you can see how that affects things. The distortion. Ooh, okay. Okay, what if we change the distortion a little bit? That cleans it up too much. Okay, and we scale back. No, I don't really like the distortion like that. Let's go like that, then maybe 45. Sure, 45 I guess works. And then the distance, yeah, that's scale down some more to like 50. There we go. There we go. 0.01, 0.05, strength 0.1, strength 0.15. 0.125 for me? Yeah, I think maybe point. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now we have some good texture to it. Look at that. Look at that bumpy, rough texture of our donut. Maybe even like going like, what if 25? What if we went even? Yeah, I think I went I think I'm going to go smaller on the scale number, which means larger on the actual scale of things. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with that. So now we have Using just a noise texture, a bump, and a displacement plugged into our normal and our displacement docks on our principled BSDF and material output, now we've changed our plastic, solid looking, unfazed donut into seemingly a nice, bumpy donut with some personality, right? And now I want to affect our roughness using the same thing. I want some bits to be shiny, some bits to be less shiny. So I'm just going to duplicate, Shift D, duplicate the noise texture, and bring the factor into the roughness. And now we have a nice rough surface. It looks good. I think it looks great, especially it's going to be kind of from a distance. So like you look at it like this, that's a pretty good looking donut, right? That's not a bad looking donut at all, especially since we're just using nodes. We're not texture painting, we're not doing weight painting, we're not doing any actual modeling. We're just notifying it up, noting it up to get a good looking donut. So we have a donut now, and we're going to go to our geometry nodes, and we're going to reconnect this join geometry to this join geometry. Now we have a donut, icing, and sprinkles, all with their own materials. In the next video, we're going to build a plate, and we're going to play with some stacking.